you all, I'm E-Man Boots. We have Lyon Distilling Company's malt whiskey, American Malt Whiskey, made right in the great state of Maryland, in the beautiful, historic, scenic town of St. Michael's on the eastern shore of Maryland. What a nice place to visit. Great distillery, been around since end of 2013, part of the Maryland rye renaissance that's going on currently in the state. Makers of, first and foremost, rums, which we so love, and both of those spirits, by the way, have been reviewed in the past on my YouTube channel, so if you want to see what they're about, go back in time and check them out. But today, we're going to talk about the malt whiskey. So, not many people in Maryland, I don't know if anyone's ever even made malt whiskey in Maryland, to be honest with you. This is batch number 2, bottle number 64 of 250. So they got a little supply of it out there, and they keep producing it and getting it out on the market a little bit at a time here and there. So it's a little tough to find. But why I'm so excited about malt whiskey is this. What we're doing here in America is so different than what the Scots and the Irish do with their malt whiskey and the distillation and aging processes. So, in particular, in America here, just like we make very innovative beer, well, we make very innovative malt whiskey because we use multiple types of malted barleys, whereas overseas they generally use one or maybe two different types, and pretty much everybody's kind of using the same grains over there. So what we're doing here, we're experimenting, just like we did when the craft beer revolution started. We started doing all kind of different things with different grains and hops, and now we all know who makes the best beer. Well, that's debatable too, but I think we make the best beer here in America, in the States. But they make great beer overseas too. But I'm excited about malt whiskeys because the direction that they've been going over the past, I'd say probably 5 to 10 years, has just been spectacular. The big thing I get out of a lot of American malted whiskeys, especially when they use different types of malted barleys, is this intense cocoa flavor. These things are chocolate bombs. I'm not going to lie to you. Not sweet chocolate now. Cocoa. That's what they do. That's what they are. So they're very unique because that's one of the types of flavors that malted barley expresses after distillation and maturation in cask. Okay. Hey, wait a minute. I just remembered something. I wonder if I still even have this down here. Let me look. Is it down here? Where? Right here. I forgot I had this. This is another bottle of malt whiskey from Lyon. But this is an unaged version. See the difference? Actually, this is batch 1. They only made 39 bottles. This is bottle number 23. And I forgot I had this. I got this 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. I remember now. So, heck, we got to get another glass. So we got to try this alongside this. Alright, let's put some of each of these in the glass. 100 proof. What's this? 90 proof. This is batch number 2. Batch number 1. So we don't quite know if this batch number 1 was the same formulation of the malt or the malt mash bill as this, but I think for purposes of seeing how a new make spirit compares to a barrel aged spirit, that's going to be neat. We got some in the glass already here. Alright, let's nose these bad boys up and see what we're smelling and tasting here. Wow. Neat. Okay, way different, way different, way different. Okay, so more moonshine-like, bad description, but more moonshine, a little rough. You pick up the barley, cocoa notes, a little bit of the fruit, esters, and things of that nature, but it's kind of like a little almost fainty, little funky, neat. It's kind of neat, not sulfury or anything, just kind of white doggy, let's call it that. This, on the other hand, beautiful expressions of cocoa for sure, cinnamon, vanilla, caramel, toffee. Getting a little teeny bit of licorice or fennel. A yeasty note and a graham cracker, like a biscuity type of thing. Before we taste this, the rundown, the profile, the 4 types of malt: Crystal 120, domestically sourced; Maris Otter, which is an English 2-row varietal; 6-row malted barley from the Midwest. We're the only ones in the world pretty much that uses the 6-row anyway, just about. Biscuit malt from Belgium. Biscuit, cookies, biscuit. Think that, remember that. That's that bread, that bakery biscuit, bready, nice note you pick up in the nose here. Alright, so here's how the spirit's made. All these malted barleys are ground up, and a mash is formed with water, obviously. Now, to do this, it's a 1-step infusion at 152 degrees for about 30 to 60 minutes. Fermentation takes place off the grain, takes about 4 to 5 days. And at that point, you end up with a distiller's beer, which is 7% ABV. Then the beer is put into the pot still, double distillation. Now we have a stripping run, which produces a 30% ABV or 60 proof spirit. And then finally the spirit run, in which a 130 proof or 60 to 65% ABV spirit is collected. Then that spirit is aged for about 1.5 years in 5-gallon used oak barrels from Balcones. Balcones out of Texas, a great artisan distiller. So this has got a great barrel pedigree. It's got a great nose. Man, that fruity aroma and that cocoa, it's a bomb. Let's taste her. Bright. I can't believe how cocoa crazy it is on the back note. Let me try it against the new make spirit. That cocoa's still there. It's just so occluded by more of the higher alcohols and funkier things that are in what a new make or white dog spirit. It's so different. Just like if you went to one of the big distilleries in Kentucky and tasted their spirit off the still before it became bourbon, you might not even recognize it, you know. So it's so different. It's neat. It's fruity. It's spicy. It's peppery. It does have the cocoa tones. It even has a little bit more of a fruit tone, more on the green fruit side, something like a pear or apple tone. Whereas here, you don't pick that up. You pick more like a black fruit note, if you get a little bit of that fruit note. But it's more or less the biscuity, yeasty, honey, graham crackery tones, and then the cocoa bomb that you get. I love the cocoa bomb. One of my favorite American malt whiskeys that I can never get a bottle of because my rep at RNDC is killing me with getting me a bottle is St. George Spirits American Malt Whiskey. To me, it's the greatest malt whiskey made in the States today, right up there with the Westland. Actually, I prefer it to the Westland. Let me tell you something, and this is a real compliment here. Not that I'm the expert on American malt whiskeys, but But when I can tell you that this is so close to both those whiskeys and every bit as enjoyable as both of those, because it has some differences that are very interesting in their own right. But I can tell you, because I can't get the St. George Spirits Malt Whiskey, and I've been longing for it. This is filling my void right here. I love this. I will easily buy a bottle of batch number 3, and I recommend you seek it out if you can find it. So come on to Maryland. Get down to the Eastern Shore. Maybe you'll be lucky when you get to the distillery. They'll have a bottle, or check some of the local stores. I know Whitey's Liquor, the store I help consult for, we have some bottles on the shelf right now. So get out there and get yourself some Lyon Distilling Malt Whiskey. What's their website here? www. It's probably lyondistilling.com. You can find them on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out Ben Lyon. He's got his own. What is Ben's? It's Whiskey Patrol, I think. Let me see. And Jamie. Why is my Instagram not launching? Come on, guys. All right. Blonde Booze Hound is Jamie Wyndon, one of the owners of Lyon. Blonde Booze Hound. And Ben is, I'm pretty sure he's Whiskey Patrol. Where's he at here? Where's he at? And also, you got the Lyon Distilling. You got the Lyon Distilling thing here. Let me see. Whiskey. Yeah, Whiskey Patrol's Ben. He's the master distiller. And then at Lyon Distilling too, right? Yeah. Lyon Distilling. At Lyon Distilling. So that's your Instagram handles. But check these guys out, because they're making great stuff. We're proud of them here in Maryland, and I'm loving everything our Maryland artisan distilleries are doing. Until next time, I'll see you. I'm E-Man Booze. Bye, you all.